10. And whether you know a veteran, you've met a veteran, every day we support those who fought for our country, but even more on days like today. So because of that, I'd like to take a special moment and give a very warm welcome to Jack Devine and Eric Calley. Thank you guys both for joining us here on Studio 10 today. How are you?
Fine.
Good.
Awesome. Happy Veterans Day. I know it's tomorrow, but we are honoring and celebrating today. But before we both get started, can you each tell me a little bit about yourselves and give us an introduction?
Sure. My name is Jack Devine. I was in the U.S. Air Force from 1965 to 69, and I served in Texas, Florida, Vietnam, and in Thailand.
My name is Eric Calley. I was a U.S. Marine from 2002 to 2006, Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion out of 29 Palms, and I served in Iraq for the invasion and then again in 04 and 05.
Wow. Well, first, thank you guys so much just for all of your service and, again, being here with us today and sharing your story. Now, I know it has been time since you both have served, but in a way, it's kind of like you haven't stopped. You guys are both a part of the VFW, but
Yes.
What prompted you wanting to continue your service and helping other veterans?
Well, for me, after getting out of the Air Force, I realized that there were issues that I was dealing with, not severe ones, but, you know, they were there. And when I began to meet other fellow veterans, we realized that we're all experiencing the same things. So back then it was dealing with Agent Orange, PTSD, POWs and MIAs, issues like that. And of course, a lot of those were ones that the VA didn't recognize. We had to fight with the VA and work with Congress to get those things done. And that's kept me going. I've been doing it ever since, from 1971
Wow.
till today. And I'm retired now and still doing it. So my work in the Air Force and photographic outfits has led to, you know, working on legislative stuff with the VFW, with the other organizations, and I'm very happy to do it.
Now, Eric, what about you? What made you want to start working with the VFW?
Well, my transition after I got out of the Marine Corps was not as easy as what I thought it would be. And so I went through a transition phase where I had to learn a lot of different things about myself with post-traumatic stress and just the type of injuries that we come back, whether physical or mental. And once I noticed things about myself, I noticed it in a lot of my friends that were coming back home as well. And so just like the Vietnam vets led the way for us, younger guys and younger generations like myself have to start standing up and sticking up for the guys that are starting to come back now to make sure that we have things in place for them as they start to transition.
Wow. Now, both of you just told me a little bit about some of the issues that it is that you both experience, but how does the VFW offer as a great resource to help other veterans like yourselves?
Well, it has a whole team of service officers that help people apply for benefits and get aid, you know, with the VA mostly. And then it has things in the community. It does the same thing. I work with all the other legislative chairs with these other organizations, and we work with the legislature to make sure that there are things happening properly here and then at the federal level so that we don't have to fight too much and get the things that veterans will need.
And so for me, you know, from 2001 to 2007, post-traumatic stress was a suck-it-up issue. You know, you didn't really talk about it, you know, just like it was back in Vietnam, in the Persian Gulf. And then, you know, back in 2007, when they start recognizing traumatic brain injury, you know, you have 6 years of guys that, you know, didn't know that they had issues, didn't know they had TBI, didn't know how to fix it. And I think that led into our 22 veterans to commit suicide a day.
Yeah.
And, you know, once that became evidently clear, that traumatic brain injury was on the schedule and post-traumatic stress was alive, living, and well, and all of us coming back, you know, our government, our legislators started making that apparent and started going towards fixing it.
Yeah.
Now, these are such huge issues that you guys are drawing so much light to, and we're opening up this conversation more and more. But again, really quickly, how can our viewers at home not just honor you guys today on Veterans Day, but also work to help you out all throughout the year?
Well, be aware that there's an assumption that just because you're a veteran, you know everything that's out there that veterans can and their families will need, but most veterans don't. So tell people to contact, you know, the VFW or any other organization they're comfortable with, or the state government. There's a 1-800-MISH-VET number,
And we have those numbers up right here on
Yeah.
your screen right now. And a lot of times we don't know about these services unless we talk about them.
Right.
So thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining me today and shedding light in this issue. And we've got more Studio 10 coming up next after the break. But thank you guys and happy Veterans Day.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah.